Welcome back to Fox Explainer. Today I am going to show you a comedy, drama, and horror movie from 2019 called Zoo. Spoilers ahead. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Watch out and take care. One gloomy afternoon, John comes home from work and goes straight to his wife Karen, who is cooking in the kitchen. But Karen doesn't acknowledge his arrival and barely talks to him when he tries to start a conversation. Later that night, they go to a movie and John tries again to talk to his wife. When he gets the same blank answer, he leaves the living room, but Karen stops him, saying she has something to tell him. She hesitates but ends up saying something that doesn't matter. The next day, John gets ready for work and goes to the bathroom. As he looks in the mirror, he suddenly feels a strong impact that punches a hole in their bathroom ceiling. John peeks into the hole and sees a few fighter jets flying by. He has plans to leave their apartment right away to see what all the fuss is about. But Karen goes up to him and tries to say something important again. John, who is now obsessed with satisfying his curiosity, leaves his wife, who is actually planning to get a divorce. John is shocked when he goes outside and sees that an airplane has crashed into a nearby building. The man next to him says that it looks like the 9/11 disaster, which John doesn't know anything about. Suddenly, something terrible happens on the street, and he runs back to their apartment as fast as he can. Then, John tells Karen that the people in the basement are biting. Karen looks out the window and is shocked to see two people eating a man alive. Nothing could have prepared them for this nightmare, but now they have to focus on staying alive until help comes. So, Karen and John make a list of the food and supplies they have and realize that it will only last them a couple of days. Because of this, they decide to steal from their neighbors. After agreeing that Karen would do it the next time, John goes out first. A few minutes later, John came with some food and told Karen that their neighbors, the Andersons, had left their door unlocked. This interests Karen, so she gets ready and starts robbing the Andersons' house. When she comes back with a couple of bottles of wine, she tells John to get ready to steal their neighbor's TV. Later that night, they watch the news on the television they just stole. According to the reports, they should stay away from the infected and put an X on their windows so rescuers can find them. The next morning, when John wakes up, he is greeted by Karen, who has just come back from looting. It looks like his wife went a little further than needed when she was gathering supplies, because she also stole a dress. Later, John wonders what they should do if the infected people try to get into their building. Karen tells him that they have to defend themselves. In this way, they both practice defending themselves against possible attacks by getting some tools and weapons ready. Later that night, Karen hears a noise outside their door, so she immediately calls John to come over. They open it quickly because they think it's the rescue team, only to be met by an infected person who tries to bite them right away. Luckily, they are able to fight it off without getting hurt. John says that he would kill for a cigarette right then, because what just happened has made him very upset. Karen grabs a few cigarettes from their cupboard after hearing what her husband just said. John asks her what else she has in there because he is interested. Karen surprises him by bringing out some illegal stimulants, which she quickly sniffs. Even though John is against it at first, he ends up trying it himself. Later, Karen is proud to show off a gun she owns and other stimulants she has collected. The next morning, when Karen wakes up, she hears a gunshot. She gets up and goes to the kitchen right away, where she finds John playing with her gun and shooting a pot that Karen's mother gave her. She gets mad at him and takes the gun from him, then goes to the bathroom to take a shower. Later that day, they put the broken pieces of the pot in their doorway to show that they are inside the house. They then go about their normal routine, which includes working out and getting weapons ready. But they take breaks from working out to sniff some stimulants. One day, they were going about their usual business when they heard a noise at the door. Someone was trying to open the handle from the outside. John grabs a knife as a precaution because he thinks it might be another infected person. Karen grabs the hammer. Soon, they open the door and see that it's their neighbor Emily and her son Leo. They want to stay in their house. Karen doesn't want to let them in, but John makes her, so they invite them in. Leo tells them that he and Emily were stuck in the laundry room after the crash, and by the time they got out, there were already infected people in the building. But they found the broken pot on Karen and John's doorstep and knew right away what it meant. In the middle of their conversation, the neighboring couple's stomachs start to grumble, so they politely ask for something to eat. Karen agrees, but as soon as she and John get to the kitchen, she says Leo and Emily can't stay. Back in the living room, Emily says bad things about Karen and says that she went a little crazy after the miscarriage. There's no need to say that there's tension between the two women. Moments later, the couple next door is done eating, and Emily sees a dress on a chair nearby. She says that she has the same one at home, and Leo says that they do too. When Karen and John hear this, they give each other strange looks. Later, they all have a drink and decide to sleep for the night. Emily then asks where they should sleep, and Karen tells her that they can sleep on the floor and maybe bring a few pillows. Emily is upset, but she sleeps on the floor with Leo anyway. Karen does something in the middle of the night to annoy her neighbor even more. She moans loudly and acts like she's having a passionate time with John. Emily gets on top of Leo and moans loudly when she feels scared. Karen doesn't give up, though, and tells John to slap her from behind. When he does, it's so loud that Emily has to give up and admit defeat. The next morning, all four of them eat breakfast together, and Karen tells the other couple to clean up and get things in order. This makes Emily angry, so she tells her husband they need to kill the threats. Later, Karen and John fall asleep on the couch, and the other couple plans to stab them with a knife. But their plans don't work out because Karen wakes up and offers to bake cookies for them. The other couple doesn't know that Karen knows about their plan to kill, so she puts amphetamines in the cookies as a secret ingredient. She added 2 tablespoons of it, and Leo and Emily went into shock and died as a result. Karen and John sniff some stimulants to take their minds off what they've done. They hear a strange sound coming from the living room, and when they go there, they find Leo still alive. But this time, he seems to have lost his mind and be infected, so Karen shoots him with a pistol. Emily jumps up from the couch and gets shot at the same time. Later that night, John and Karen drag the dead bodies out of their house and take some Valium before going to bed. But because they are sleeping, they don't hear the rescue team ask everyone to turn on their lights. This means that they both miss their chance to get away. The next day, they take a relaxing bath together, and Karen tells him that she wants to adopt a child if they make it. John agrees, and they each say how much they love each other in turn. Later that night, John takes Karen on a short indoor date where they act like they don't know each other and are just getting to know each other. As the night goes on, they get closer to each other and start making love. But when someone knocks on the door, it wakes them up. Karen rushes to open the door right away, but John stops her, but it's already too late. All of a sudden, 3 men walked into their house and demanded valuable things. But they don't have anything of value, so the leader tells his men to beat up John while he attacks Karen. At first, Karen can't do anything, but then she throws flour in the man's face and stabbed him in the neck. When the other 2 men walk in, they see a bloody scene. John shoots both of them quickly. John and Karen pull the bodies out of their house right away. Later that night, they hear the sound of helicopters, but no one on the rescue team notices. Because of this, they both decide that tomorrow they will run through the crowd of sick people and escape. The next day, they put their plan into action, but they have to run back home because they misjudged how many infected people were downstairs. Karen was also bitten in the leg, which makes things even worse. It's only a matter of time before the bite gets infected. But John is sure that there is a drug company out there just waiting to make money off of their vaccines. This makes his wife feel better, so they go to bed soon after. Karen has a dream in the middle of the night that she loses control, so she plans to leave before the virus takes over her. But when John sees that she is about to leave, he stops her right away. Later, he gives some of his blood to his wife in the hope that it will keep her alive until help arrives. Karen at first says she isn't hungry, but John says it's his choice, so she just goes along with it. The next day, Karen and John stand by the window and realize that they might be the only people left in the city. Since it's her last day, John tells Karen everything he has planned for the future and talks about how he thinks everything will turn out. John tells Karen that the rescue team will come the next day and that she will get a vaccine that will make her able to have a child. John doesn't hesitate to tell his wife, Karen, that he wants to grow old with her, and Karen tells him that's what she wants too. They both start crying at the same time, but Karen tells John she needs a bath and leaves. She plans to kill herself in the bathroom, but she changes her mind when John comes in and gives her a glass of his blood. Karen spends a romantic night with her husband, knowing that she won't be able to stay healthy for long. They make love for the last time. The next day, John wakes up alone in his bed. He goes to the bathroom and finds a note from Karen there. In the note, she tells John how much she loves him and how perfect their life has been in her mind. But in her worst nightmares, the hunger won and she couldn't fight it anymore. So, she asks John to end her suffering and tells him to find her in the nursery. John goes to the nursery and finds that Karen has locked herself up. This breaks his heart. She is now completely sick, and there's nothing that can be done to save her. After a few seconds, John grabs the gun and points it at his wife's head. Karen looks at him with her dead eyes before he pulls the trigger, and he apologizes for what he is about to do. Someone suddenly breaks down the door, and it turns out to be the rescue team. They look around to see if anyone is still alive and find the nursery. Karen and John, who are both infected and chained to the wall, scare them. The rescuers don't understand why their hands are taped together, so the commander just says, "It's love," which the rescuers find hard to believe. After that, the people trying to help them decide to shoot both of them down. John couldn't kill the person he loved most, so he joined her in her pain. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more and hit the like button to help me out, and also leave a comment if you want me to explain your favorite film. Until next time, take care.